Okay, now let's get back into the project. The thing I want to do is I don't want these just square, rectangular prism looking things as my enemies. As weird as they are and spooky as they are, I'd rather have some sort of an actual enemy. So I'm going to go to the asset store, and in my little panel here up top, if you don't see that, you can go to Window and find Asset Store or hit Control 9 to make the Asset Store come active. And you can see it's connecting to the Asset Store. And what I want to search for is free monster and see what shows up in my list of stuff. This is the guy I want, the monster orc. So I'm going to click on him. There he is. And I'm going to download him. It's a free download. So we'll just take that guy and pull him off of the internet. And then I want to import him into our project, preparing package. And here's my monster. I'm going to import him. And Unity takes a little while to bring that package into our assets folder. And we should see the monster orc folder. Okay, cool. So that was easy enough. Now I want to go inside the folder and see what we've got. Well, we've got all kinds of stuff in here. We've got a sample scene and we've got meshes. Oh, okay. Meshes. And we've got materials, the skin of the beast, 2 different types of skins. We've got an animator controller. We're going to definitely get into that. We've got some textures. Ooh, look at that. Yeah, different types of textures. Oh, and his eye. Look at that. The Eye of Sauron. This is a pretty cool little enemy for a free one. You know, and it's well organized. You know, you see, everything's in folders and stuff. And then we get into our prefabs, and here's our monster orc prefab asset. And if this other one is monster non-animating orc. All right, we don't want that. We want the animating one. So I'm going to take this guy and pull him onto my screen here. And I want to go down to the world level here and just kind of bring him over closer to my player. Let me see where the player is. Oh, there he is. All right, he's a little high. Let's bring him down towards the ground and bring him closer to my guy. Okay, so there's our orc. It looks kind of like very dark. I can't really make out his features, which, you know, is not ideal. And I also think he's rotated around where I can't see. So I'm going to rotate him around the other way. Oh, no, okay. Oh, no, okay, he's looking at me. Oh, now we see him. There's the eyes. Okay. Yeah, we want to rotate him around like that. And then get my little deal like that. All right, he's pretty cool. But I do want to see him a little bit better, you know? Can't really see him that well. I'm going to set his Y to 0. Ooh. That doesn't work. All right, we'll leave it at that for now, and he'll fall once we add a rigid body and all that good stuff. But the first thing is I want to actually see this guy, light him up a little bit. So I'm going to select the monster orc up here and go to Game Object, Light, Point Light. And I want to, you know what? Let me go ahead and add that by right-clicking here. 3D Object. Light. There we go. I'm sorry. Light, point light. There we go. That adds it right to him. And you can see that kind of brightens him up a little bit so we can see him a little bit better now. We can actually make out some of those features. And if you want, you could take that point light and increase its range, its color. We can change its color to something more like orange. You know, give him more like a demonic vibe. The intensity is set to 1. I can increase that. Oh yeah, that looks pretty good. Look at that. Ooh. Oh man, yeah, I like that. Okay. Yeah, he's going to have like a glow too that's going to follow him around with this point light. So you can see the point light is a child of the monster. So if I want to add it directly to an object, right, I right click on that object and now it becomes a child of that object, and it's going to, you know, go wherever he goes. All right, cool. So let's take our monster and let's add some components. Let's add a rigid body. And I'm going to also increase his mass like I did with the other enemy. And I'm going to, I'm going to use gravity, yes. And everything can do the same thing, freeze the rotation of the Y so he doesn't go toppling around. And we'll see what we got with that. So I hit play. And, oh, he just falls right through the world. Okay, so we have to add a collider to him. So let's right click on, or let's click on the monster orc, and let's go add component. Let's do a box collider. And I want to look at the collider here. So I'm going to zoom in on him a little bit. Let's double click on him to get closer in. And we can see the parameters of this box by these little buttons. And I'm just going to drag that one up to the top. And the one on the bottom I'm going to drag up to where his feet are. And let's take a look as he falls where that puts him. Oh, good. Oh, that's perfect. He might be still a little too high. Ooh, the enemy's pushing him from behind. Oh, no. Oh, look at him. Wow, he looks pretty scary, actually, right? Look at him. He's awesome. It's a great little demon. All right. So we do want to take this bottom up a little bit more so that he's actually on the ground when he's walking. Let's see. For right now, I'm going to take this enemy and just disable it so we don't have to deal with it. Let me just look at my orc here. All right, perfect. So his feet, actually now he's in the ground. So adjusting that box collider takes a little bit of finessing, right? All right, we want to finesse that box collider so that when I'm editing this, just a little bit more down. Let's see what that looks like. Good. Okay, perfect. That's actually great. And he goes through all of his animations. These are all the animations in his controller that he's just cycling through right now. So if we go into his animator, we're going to see that all those animations are just basically stacked up upon one another. So let's hit escape here and end our game for the quick second. And, oh, we got an error message that's being thrown by our enemy because we knocked it out of the game for right now. We disabled it, so we're going to have to deal with that later. All right, first, let's deal with the animator for this enemy. So I want to go into assets, and I can either go into my animator controller for my monster orc here, or I could go to my monster orc here and go to the animator right here. It's the same thing. Okay, if I double click on that, now it opens up the animator tab. And I'm just going to sort of minimize these other tabs. Come on, help me. There we go. We'll minimize those and maximize this. And you'll notice that the first default state is the attack. Well, that's the first thing we got to change. I mean, I'm fine with these attacks sort of running concurrently. If I double click on this, it should show me. Oh, we used to get a nice little preview down here. Where's my preview? Let me pull this up. No? Oh, there we go. Yeah, you get this cool little preview here. I guess you gotta click on this, and then it shows you the animation. So if I press play here, oh yeah, that's what this attack is doing, right? It's just kind of punching side to side. All right, let me check out attack number 2. Oh yeah, more swinging, but this time with open hands, not closed fists. And then attack 3. Oh, he's just ripping me down. Yeah, he just rips you to the ground. Okay, cool. So I kind of want to, you know, like a sort of a variety of hits in the attack. So I'm going to leave these 3 animations kind of connected together, where these will just play in succession. This one will play, then this one will play, then this one will play. All right, let's see what else we've got here. I'm going to zoom out, move my cursor to the bottom, and zoom back in. We've got a block. Well, we're not going to use block. Death we're going to use. Yes, we want death. Dodge? No. Dodge? No. Fighting stance. Oh, that's interesting. Let's see that. So we look at the fighting stance. Oh, he squares up. Okay, we're going to want that. And then let's see fighting stance 2. Ooh, okay, so it's just a very quick little animation of him kind of bobbing up and down before the attack starts. So let's use both of those, okay? Get rid of this. And we want to lead with those 2 when we're attacking. So I'm going to right-click on this. Where's my walk state? Because that's going to be the default one. Yeah, this is a process to try to get down here. Oh, here's walk. Oh, and we have run too. Okay. So let's get rid of these transitions, and we're going to set walk as our main default state. So set layer as default state. Now we know when the animation begins, we're going to be starting with walk. So I'm going to take these guys and pull them up here. Okay, so we've got get hit, no, get hit, no, idle, no, idle, no. We're just going to be walking as soon as we hit the ground. All right, so we start with walk, and then we want to be able to attack, right? So let's grab these 3, and what we want to do is we want to transition from walk to fight. You know, we're going to want that transition to be able to happen, right? And then once we get there, we're going to play this one, then we're going to play this one, then we're going to play that one, and we're just going to play all of these in a row. But then we want them to keep playing. So as long as our player is in range of the enemy, we want him to keep attacking. So I'm going to transition from this one, make transition, back up to this one. So that arrow is going to go back up to the regular attack. So these 3 attacks will keep looping in order. And remember, we can see if something is looping by double clicking, and let's see. Loop time is checked, yes. So the walking loops. The fighting does not. Yeah, loop time is unchecked. So these are all just going to play once. I guarantee you these are all loop time. Yep, 0 loop time. So we created our own loop with the transitions. So these 3 will keep playing in order. Attack will play, then the transition to attack 2, then the transition to attack 3, then the arrow brings us back to attack. And that will be a constant loop when we're attacking. But the truth is, we don't want to keep attacking, right? At some point, we want to stop attacking, and, you know, maybe our guy gets away from him. You know, maybe our player gets out of range. He's like, you know, fleeing for his life, and he gets free. And so, if that happens, we need the walker, or this guy, to transition back to walk from any of these states if our player breaks free. So I'm going to create transitions from each of these states back to walk. Just like so. Make transition. Make transition. Okay. And then we also need to be able to die. We want our guy to be able to die. If we hit him a number of times with our projectiles, or maybe we can give our player a hammer or an axe or something to fight him off with. And then we want him to be able to perish when we hit him a certain number of times. So let's make transitions to his death state from any of these states. So I know this is a lot of arrows, but hopefully you understand what we're trying to do here. None of this is going to work until we program it to work, but this is essentially the animation matrix that we're after. Okay? We want to be able to go back and forth from walk to the fighting stance and back to walk from any of these positions in case we break free. And then we also want to be able to go from any of these states to death in case our enemy dies. Okay, so this is what the animation controller should look like now. And if we wanted to add run in at some point, or you want to use run instead of walk, you could certainly do that. Let's look at what run looks like. We'll play that little animation over here. Yeah, he's double timing it. Okay, so if you have a bigger speed, or as one student suggested, which I thought was a pretty cool idea, you can set it up so that like once he's already attacked us and then we break free, his speed goes up and we move to the run animation. That would be kind of a cool game mechanic to have him like now he smells us and now he's after us for real. We're not going to do that. We're not going to set that up right now, but this should be good enough for our purposes. Okay, cool. So that's going to work okay. We can clear those for right now. And right now, if we play it, it should transition from the walk animation to the fighting animation, or it'll just keep playing the walk animation now. Actually, yeah, because we don't have anything that's going to make that transition happen. So the next thing we have to do is set up the parameters for why these transitions are actually going to take place. So I'm going to add bools under parameters. The first one I'm going to call is attack. It's going to be attack bool, so I can turn the attack on or off. And then I also want to create another bool called dead or death, whatever you want to call it. Okay. Just make sure that you're consistent with the names and you know what you're doing. So I've got attack, and that's either going to be true or false. So if attack is toggled to false, we just want to keep walking. If it toggles to true, then that's this transition here, right? So let's go to the parameters for this particular transition, and I'm going to go attack true. There we go. It's all set. And then if I want to go back to walk, then that's going to be when attack is false. And all of these transitions going back to walk are all going to be attack false. Attack false. All of these transitions that lead back to my walking state is when our player breaks free and we're going to have to toggle that bool to false. None of these transitions need any parameters. They're just going to play on their own. These transitions just happen. These ones that we're going back to walk or from walk to attack, they require parameters and conditions. Now we've got all the conditions for our attack. Now we need the conditions for our death. List is empty. If I want to go from walk to death, I've got to have dead be true. So now I'm clicking on each of these and changing the condition bool from dead true. These are all dead true. If I'm transitioning from any state to the death animation, then I must have died, and somewhere in our code we're going to have to set that up so that dead is true for our animator bool. So dead is true, and finally the last one here, dead is true. Okay, great. So we've completely set up our animator now. If you want to go through there and check them just to make sure the conditions are right, you can do that. That would be fabulous. And then I'll go back to my game, and I just want to kind of watch this guy. You know, he is walking now. He should just be walking, just continuously walking. Now, in the next lesson, we have to get him so that, number one, he's seeking us. Number two, he's spawning, just like the other enemy did. And number three, we want it so that when he gets close to us, he is going to start moving into his attack state and not just continuously walk up on us. Okay? And we'll do that in the next lesson. Great job.